The afternoon sun was dipping behind the pine trees when my wife, Emily, stepped out onto our front porch, ready to enjoy her day off after a long week at the hospital. She had barely taken a sip of her iced tea when a pair of unfamiliar men marched up our driveway wearing cheap tactical vests with HOA compliance officer printed on them in crooked letters. Emily instantly knew something was off. Our neighborhood didn't even have an HOA. One of the men barked, "Ma'am, you're violating community code. Your fence is non-compliant. We need to inspect your property immediately." Emily calmly replied, "There is no HOA here, and you're not authorized to be on my property." But the men didn't like being challenged. They puffed up their chests, stepped closer, and demanded she hand over ID. When she refused again, one of them snapped and shoved her hard against the porch railing. Emily stumbled, caught herself, and glared at them. "That was your last warning," she said, standing tall. The man smirked and moved forward to grab her arm, but before she could react, his fist shot forward and punched her in the shoulder. Emily winced but didn't back down. "You just assaulted me!" she hissed. "Leave now." Instead, the two fake officers started surrounding her. They had no idea who her husband was, or where he happened to be standing. Because at that exact moment, Ethan was walking back from the garage after unloading tools. And before I even heard their voices, I saw the hit. Every muscle in my body locked. For years, I had trained myself to stay calm under pressure, 12 years as a Navy. SEAL teaches you that, but something primal ignited inside me. I walked toward them, slow and silent, and said in a low voice, "Step away from my wife." The fakes spun around. One sneered, "And who are you supposed to be?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. They swung first and missed. I moved on instinct, using only enough force to stop them, nothing more. The first man lunged, and I sidestepped, grabbed his vest, and flipped him flat onto the grass. The second charged wildly. One controlled strike to the chest knocked the wind out of him, and he dropped to his knees, gasping. Within seconds, both men were disarmed, immobilized, and very aware that they had made a catastrophic mistake. Emily rushed to me, and I checked her quickly. "I'm okay," she said, even though her shoulder was already bruising. Meanwhile, the two men lay groaning on the lawn. I called the sheriff, actual law enforcement this time, and within minutes, deputies rolled up. After searching the men, they found fake badges, stolen gear, and even a clipboard filled with addresses. Apparently, they had been posing as HOA officers to intimidate people into handing over violation fines. The deputies shook their heads in disbelief. "You picked the wrong house," one of them muttered at the men as they were handcuffed.